To DC fan gives hope, and I was trying to wonder if I should even put this up, but as I said before in my YouTube videos, it's just basically me just ranting or talking just about anything that pops into my mind. So, and this has popped into my mind, so I just thought, share it with you and stuff. And it's basically, those moments where you just take a look at yourself and you take a step back and you look, and I just find that surprising how much things like your hobbies and your loves just kind of take control over your ambitions, and you think about the future of you doing whatever it is you're into, and it sort of means so much. And for me, as I say, it's now DC, and I wonder if we never had the Michael Keaton movie, would we be in this predicament just now? Or would we have these superhero films, and then there'll be a whole load of us actually feeling quite chilled and fans. And our world is now sort of changed with the internet and the promise of our heroes on the big screen, and we've become protective. And as I say, I'm only going to sort of talk about myself, and so I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not saying anybody's, any fans is the same or anything. This is just basically me, and hopefully you can relate to it and feel comfort if you do. That you're not the only one. I've been running this page now, and oh god, I have seen so much passionate comments about these films and comics and the characters that they love, and you forget sometimes that when you're on Facebook or you're listening to somebody on YouTube, that there's a wider world out there who are not in the slightest bit interested, and they cannot fathom why you get excited leaving the cinema and talking about it, or the DC, or any of the TV shows or comics you've read, and then being a supporter of DC, I don't really delve much into Marvel. I've given up on Marvel, so and now because of the biased stuff and the appreciation that Marvel gets and DC doesn't, I don't bother with Marvel. If there's a movie for you on Netflix, I'll watch it. But my colleagues, they tease me. They say, "Oh, did you watch Punisher? Did you watch Daredevil and whatnot?" I went, just to wind me up, because that's Marvel. And I was stand back, and I get suckered into it. And I said, "No, I'm Arrow, and DC Legends tomorrow, and Black Lightning's coming on, and Krypton, and and I get quite defensive over DC. Now, when I went to go and when Justice League was coming out, I do what I always do. I go to the billboard where I know there's going to be the DC poster, and I take a picture of it, and I'm looking around the city, and I'm looking at buses, and I'm trying to see, any signs of promotion for the film, and I don't know, maybe it's the inner geek in me that wants the world to be excited along with us, and that they're going to see what I love on the big screen, and we become crazy. But then when you, and so everybody's comment and everybody's, verdict on anything related to what is somehow vitally important to your life. And I remember talking to some YouTubers when Justice League was coming out, and these guys had seen the film, and I was, did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it? When I'm thinking, please do, please say you enjoyed it and everything else. And then some of the time they change their mind and they hate it and they start putting it down, and I get defensive. I'm like, what? No, 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 no. And you go into the cinema and it's one of your, it's one of these moments you sort of put yourself on edge, because you're sitting there all sort of tense, hoping to enjoy it, and and scream at a girl or whatever when the credits come up. Just probably like Star Wars and stuff. But again, this is the UK, we don't do that sort of thing, so there's always the idiot like myself that is cheering and shouting and telling people just to stay for the end of the credit scenes. So we get wrapped up, and the film box office seems to matter quite a big deal to us, and we get annoyed at fans commenting negative about up and down, and then you get somebody saying, well, you can't be a fan and everything else, and you see comments saying, my world has ended, I've been looking forward to this film for 40 odd years, and I've seen it now, and what else is there to look forward to? And there is, I'm heartbroken because the film wasn't what I was hoping for. Maybe it was bad for them, or and that Justice League should have made millions. And then you get this report from Variety saying maybe Warner Brothers is a wee bit unhappy about it, and then you're feeling disheartened about it, and it's all, and then you think that the whole world has been affected by the result of these films. But then when you go and ask somebody that's seen the film, somebody that's not connected to the web or doesn't bother about YouTube channels and some of those biased channels, and they're unaware. And when you go and ask them, and they say, "Fun, yeah, it's fun," and so they enjoyed it. And then you look at China and stuff, who Justice League has done well and broke records because they don't have that critical sort of English speaking critics. You don't see that over there, so they've went to see this film, and maybe this is it. Maybe we're so mentally sort of tuned to whatever other people think of the film, that we want everybody to love it, and we get hurt that not everyone does. So if there's something like 100 odd critics that didn't like the film compared to 80,000 people that loved the movie, it's that 80%. We're like, no, it's just nuts. But when we go outside and life is just moving on, and and soon, and nobody's even thought about Justice League or anything like that. It's not me. I'm thinking about it all the time. It's of course I've got real things to think about, house, family, and stuff like that. But for some reason, the DC has always been that sort of passionate. And probably people into comics are not into sport, so they grab onto this, just like any Star Trek fan or any sort of these franchises. For me, for Star Wars, it's sort of this line. After Force Awakens, but we are just crazy that we need things in our life to make us this hyped up, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, to get this, but but then I think back and how much I longed for this film and how it got me excited and stuff like that. And maybe that was us. Maybe we were just, when we get excited, when we look forward to things, we're spoiling it for ourselves. Now, no doubt, I believe in a year or two, when the DVD of Justice League comes out, and we'll soon forget about all this. We'll forget, because look at Lord of the Rings. Right, when that came out in the original trilogy, people were up in arms and oh yeah man, best thing, yeah, can't wait till next Christmas and stuff. You ask ask people now and they'll go, yeah, it was alright, a bit long, or they're not as enthusiastic. It just becomes, this Lord of the Rings just becomes a normal film in the past, same like all the other classics. And as I say, I grew up with Lord of the Rings. I've not got nothing against the films, but I personally feel, that these films that meant so much to us at certain different stages in our lives, it's become that sort of less important. We've moved on. It's like somebody passing, passing away and up to the heaven and whatnot. Time heals and we move on, and we just look back on this without all this, and it's, so now we're looking forward to the future, and what's going to come and who's going to play who and everything else. But we forget that life does go on. Things in the world, when you go outside, people don't understand how this sort of film can affect you in a certain way, and for me, I felt comfort just watching Justice League because I was in maybe with a cinema of people that liked it too. And the second time, third time, or people have seen it 4 or 5 times. But when you're out and you're on the internet and you're on the YouTube and you're seeing all these people, I hate it, it ruined me and everything. We're all crazy. We're all nuts, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. Let me know how your fandom of DC is affecting your life. Maybe you're just normal and it doesn't, but then again you're asking yourself, why are you listening to me? Why have you tuned into the Man of Steel fan DC fan gives hope page or anything like that? If you're watching this, then you've probably watched other people's things on DC and Justice League, and how much of that do you watch? How much time do you spend not thinking about DC? Let us know in your comments below. But I'm not, as I say, this was just me. And I think sometimes we all need to just take a breather and step back and just don't think too much about what we dislike about it or what we love about it and stuff, and just appreciate it. That it's there and we can watch it and just accept things for what they are, and by doing that we become sort of more ordinary like the other people out there that think we're nuts, and as I say, we wear t-shirts, we wear caps, and I've still got this Justice League band to, where's this in the land? And remember when Death of Superman happened, the wore wristbands and people go at and to show their thing about it. It's just, unreal. It is unreal, and it's a good thing, but I can only see it as a good thing. But I think only if we somehow try to take a step back and just let people like it, hate it or whatnot, and if you don't like it, then just don't get yourself upset. There's many more coming out in the future, and maybe one of them you'll like. Okay, this is DC Fan Gives Hope. I'm just giving you an inside of my crazy brain. So please comment down below how DC has affected you. Thank you.